Welcome to Yenko, Africa. My name is Ama. I want to thank you guys for tuning in on today. And yes, I am making a video, something I don't do. I used to do this years ago, and I realized in doing videos just how vain I was. And even now, I realize that there's still some vanity here, right? Okay, so I'm coming to you today again with another barefaced chronicle. All right, so you see I have no makeup on. I'm not much of a makeup wearer anyway, and dark circles and all. Okay, but I got my shades here just in case I decide to pull them down. I'm tired of looking at these dark circles. And I didn't get much sleep last night, all right? But I do want to share this with you. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I wanted to come on and do one today, all right? Now, this topic I've wanted to speak on for quite some time, several months ago before I broke my ankle and stopped making videos. And I do appreciate those of you who are not tired of me speaking about my broken ankle. Believe me, it was quite the ordeal, all right? Especially being in a foreign country when I broke it, and the healthcare system issues and so on and so forth. But we'll discuss that at another time as well, now that I'm back to doing recordings. But I want to talk to us about love, okay? And finding the right person on the continent, finding the right person for you, or being found by the right person for you, and especially for those who are over 35, okay? As I shared before in a previous video where I discussed some of the challenges in relationships. If you haven't seen that or heard that, please go back and listen to that video. And I discussed some of the tricks that some people do, and I promise to be back with some more details because there's some serious tricks that go on this continent, for people who are insincere or those who are sincere, but they still struggle with, their personal aspirations and trying to achieve their personal goals. And sometimes it takes priority over working together or really working together to bring about a common vision. Okay, their personal goals and things that they've always wanted to do seemingly keep jumping ahead of the common vision. All right, so you'll meet all sorts of challenges. Okay, but for those of us who are over 35, I shared before that I'm over 50. I've been coming back to the continent for more than 18 years with my son. I know what it's like to be single. I know what it's like to be married. I know what it's like to be divorced. I know what it's like to be widowed. Okay, I know. All right. So, and I know what it's like to be separated and going back and forth with someone who you have been divorced from. I can, share those experiences with you as well. But I also know what it's like to be on the continent and meet people and, have people approach you and appear sincere, and you can mistake good manners for good character if you do not know the culture. And so in another share, I discussed how, a lot of times women who, particularly women of faith, who come and they find that, the men go to church and you don't have to, bully them into going to church, or they go to mosque, whatever your faith is. And you think that, oh my God, God has sent me the answer to my prayers. But what you're doing is you're mistaking culture for character, because it is the culture to go to church. Even if you're a flat out sinner, there's the culture to go to church. It is the culture to go to mosque. It is the culture to, behave in and to display good manners. Let me just say that again. It is the culture to display good manners. Now, do most people display good manners? Most do, but there are a good number that don't. Okay, and you'll see that the culture, even the moral culture, has changed considerably over the years, the moral culture. All right, so don't get culture and character confused, okay, because they're two different things. But today I want to talk to us about those who are over 35. Who is the best person for you? My opinion. All right, from my experience, do what you want to do. Make your own decisions, make your own mistakes, okay? But I'm going to share with you from experience, okay, and my opinion and observation, okay? And you can take it or you can leave it. You can say, mine, that's all good and true, but from my experience is working. And to that I say hallelujah. There are people who, work together and, do the opposite of what I'm going to share. And it has worked for them. But let me just get straight to the point now before I get ahead of myself. My opinion of the best person for a member of the diaspora, regardless of how you identify yourself, African diaspora, Native American, Israelite, someone who is an atheist, someone who is a Christian, someone who, is an agnostic, someone who is a traditionalist, whatever and however you identify yourself. My opinion, regardless of how you identify yourself, of the best person for us as members of the diaspora who have returned to the African continent, the best person, the most compatible person, let me just say this, for us would be a fellow member of the diaspora. Be it one who is of our own tribe, so to speak, ethnicity, meaning someone who was born in whatever country that you're in. This channel, let me just say this channel is designed to help the diaspora that has been scattered over the four corners of the earth to transition as they make their way back to the African continent. Okay, if you stay in one of the Western countries, Southern, Eastern, or you go north towards Israel, and I do believe Israel, Jerusalem is North Africa. All right. But that's my opinion. All right. Once again, but regardless of what your motive is for returning to the continent, if you are seeking love and you're over the age of 35, first of all, for women, most men by 35 have already decided on who they're going to marry, or they are already married. Okay. Now they may take more than one wife, but because the culture on the continent promotes marriage, most by 35 have already found someone who they're interested in marrying, or they are already married. Okay. Now, if you are looking for someone and hoping for someone, my opinion from experience and observation is that the best person for us is going to be one of our own. All right. And I'll tell you why in just a second. And if not one of our own who is also on the same path, okay, who also has the same desire to be on the continent, and who also may share the same reason for being here. And I think that's important too, because if your motive for being here is different, if that person's motive is adjusted or changes for some reason, it may send them back to where they came from. Okay. So you have to have, I think, a strong compatibility as far as experience and where you come from and how you can relate to each other. You can understand each other. You can communicate with each other. You can flow with each other. When you say something, the other one fills in the gap. They know what you're talking about when you speak. Those things are important. These things that we often overlook, little things. When you start singing a song, they can groove with you. They know what you're talking about. You think that's something small, but it's not. It's not. I tell you, you realize that it really, really comes to play. Like before I started making this video, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I told my son, I said, I'm looking like Big Bertha from Cell Block B, right? And he said, no, you're looking like Big Bertha Two Trays, And even though I didn't know who Big Bertha Two Trays was, I could understand what he meant because I said Big Bertha from Cell Block B. So I know Big Bertha Two Trays. If you are American, African American, they give them trays to eat with, when they're in the penal system. And Big Bertha Two Trays lets me know she gonna take somebody else's tray, or she's big, or she eat 2 trays. Now, I'm not as big as I look on this camera. I was teasing myself by calling myself Big Bertha from Cell Block B, right? And he said, no, Big Bertha 2 trays. So something as small as that, he knew what I was talking about. He knew what I was speaking about. And it's the little things, it's the little things that make a difference. It really does. And you may say, oh, no, that doesn't matter. But honey, after some time and over time, communication is going to be very important. And sometimes it's the small communications. It's the little things that really matter. Sometimes I watch videos and I watch the couples who are from the diaspora, and one will say something and the other one will fill in the gap. One will start singing a song and the other person will finish the song off. It's the little things that matter. It's the little things that carry a lot of weight. You will be very, very surprised. It's the little things that can get you through the trials in life. It's the little encouragement, the little familiarities that make a big difference in your lives. Now, I'm not saying that marrying someone who is, say, for example, who was born on the African continent may not be a good fit for you. I'm not saying that, but it's important for that person to know you and your culture. And you don't have to, it's important for you not to be the person to sponsor it. I met a person one time and I thought this person was a good candidate. I thought that they were sincere, and I think that they really were sincere in their own way. But they kept saying something like, I need to know your country because you know my country, right? And I said, oh, go and visit. I'll see you when you get back. Because they didn't pay for me to come to their country. So why should I have to sponsor them going to my country and we're not even married? Okay. And why should that be a part of the requirement of getting to know me? They're African Americans here. They have met them. They have had, business relationships with them. But if they wanted to know so much more about my country, then they should be the person to take on that responsibility to go to my country, and I'll see them when they get back. Okay. And so I'm saying this to say that those who you meet, be careful and listen. Do they truly share the same passion that you have? The song by Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen. All right? Caribbean Queen. The queen that he's talking about is his fellow Caribbean woman that he met in another country, right? Someone who now is sharing his same dream. Their hearts can beat as one. They got the same dream. They got the same passion. They got the same understanding. I'm not saying that we cannot marry our fellow Africans. I'm not saying that. But I will tell you this from experience and observation. Those who were born on the continent and went to other places like Europe and America, South America, wherever, who have traveled out and who have been familiar, especially with your culture, who did not separate themselves from your culture when they got to those countries, who did not separate themselves just among their own. And then you are the only person from your group that they really have any relationships with. But those who truly had sincere friendships with our people when they were living among our people are probably going to be the best candidates for us because they understand you, they understand your people, and they understand where you're coming from. It's not going to be a one-sided thing where you are just so immersed in their culture, you're immersed in their family, you're immersed in their way of life, you're immersed in everything about them, but they, only know you. They are not immersed, or they have no other relationship and really desire no other, relationship outside of you, as far as from your side of things, your culture, your experiences. So those who have lived among us and who have come to our countries, various countries, and really reached out and had relationships with other people of our culture, just like you, all right, are probably going to be the best candidates for you. They're not going to isolate you from others. You're not going to feel isolated. And so as you're learning about their culture, they already know about your culture, right? And so they can relate to you. That's going to be very important. And so compatibility is, to me, greater than a lot of things. Just like I feel like sometimes like is greater than love. A person who doesn't like you, how can they truly love you? They don't even like you. And you know they don't like you because they're always trying to change something about you, right? Of course, we want to encourage the person to be the best that they can be, but do you like who they are? Do you like their bare face? Okay. I say my sweet plantain. That's what I call him, my sweet plantain. Okay. I ain't met him yet. But when I meet him, I love plantain. So my sweet plantain, all right, I pray I meet him with this same bare face. Okay. Because if he don't like this face with no makeup, all right, which I'm not a big makeup person, if he just absolutely cannot stand seeing me, with his dark circles, then we're not going to be able to gel. If he hates the fact that I'm wearing this t-shirt, or wear a scarf on my head, or I speak the way that I speak, all right, if he doesn't like that, then we won't match. We won't be a match, all right? If he can't understand my flow, he can't understand that, yes, I'm a child of the Most High Yah, but I like listening to some old school R&B at every now and then. All right. I was just, before I came on here, I was getting myself back in tune to do this share, thinking about what? Jeffrey Osborne's Love Ballad. If you don't know the song, go listen to it. All right. Go listen to it. Jeffrey Osborne and LTD singing Love Ballad. I didn't say singing Holy, Holy, Holy. And for those of you who, I just think, y'all, I'm not even going to that. All right. I know who I am. And most important, y'all knows who I am. He knows the life that I live. He knows the state of my spirit. All right. And so I just need someone that can flow with me and I can flow with them. And that's what I want for you. Why spend the rest of your days frustrated? Why spend the rest of your days with someone who really doesn't like you? Why spend the rest of your days with someone who's really not the best person for you, who doesn't get you, who doesn't understand you, who can't flow with you? You talking about something they don't understand what the heck you talking about. All right. And they're not trying to learn. So that's my opinion. You're free to do whatever you want to do, brothers and sisters. I just pray you do the right thing. I wish you get the best person for you. I pray you fullness of joy. Fullness of joy. We've been through too much hell to spend time with someone who really is not that into you. Someone who likes you. Someone who may even say they love you. Let's say that. But they really, really don't like who you are. They're really, really not interested in getting to know you. Or if they want to know your people, you have to sponsor it. No. You deserve better than that. All right. You deserve better than being seen as a way out of whatever situation they're in, a meal ticket. All right. And you deserve better than losing your identity just to blend in with their culture. You will lose yourself in the process. And 5 to 10 years from now, you'll realize just how far you have come away from being who you really are. You won't even recognize yourself. All right. All in the name of becoming familiar with someone else's culture. So that's my take. I pray that, you have gotten something from this that has blessed you. And that if you don't agree with it, that you will just consider what was shared. All right. And may you do what's best for you. Shalom.